Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for the week of January 15th. We're going to jump right in here. Love this. Look at that. That's even better. You have this love and you have this success card. So I think you are going to love all the success that you get this week. So there's clearly success coming in for you. I think that it hasn't been easy. You have the Five of Wands here. The thing about the Five of Wands is, personally, I like the Five of Wands. Yeah, it's a card of conflict and competition, but these guys are using sticks to fight. They're not using swords. And they are learning how to fight, so they're training. And, I feel like you have been, going through difficulties and challenges and, all that other stuff. But I also feel that it has made you a lot stronger. It has made you kind of like a force to be reckoned with. And now you are becoming more successful. You have this extremely powerful change card. You have this other card that says you're very close to achieving your goals. I'm pretty sure in one of your last readings, you had that card that said, what did it say? it said you're like the end of a tough cycle approaches or something like that, or it's like you're finally getting to the end of a tough cycle. So this seems to be a theme that's going on for you, Capricorn, where you're kind of like getting to the end of some difficulties and you're stepping into a time of like more success and growth. So I definitely like to see that for you. I do feel that, like I said, I feel like you are gonna love the success that comes in for you here. And especially if you're working on something creative, I'm getting, or if you have created something, you're really going to love where this goes for you. Again, you have the Five of Wands, which says that you are learning at this time, or that you have learned. So I feel like you have learned through a lot of challenges and difficulties. And, it's pretty simple. I think you're getting to this time in your life where you're finally getting the rewards for all the challenges that you've been through. You have the Chariot, which is a victory. All three Earth signs have the Chariot, which is interesting. Definitely could be like an Earth sign collective Earth sign energy, basically, where you're all like kind of taking control of your lives. And I also feel that you could be setting yourself apart. Again, the Chariot to me is a card of setting yourself apart. He's leaving that city behind him. And the reason is because everything is the same in that city. And he's looking for a place where there are like different rules, different, a different way of being or living in his life. And he wants to be unique. Maybe he wants to find his own city where he's like the king or something like that. And so I feel for a lot of you that you're kind of like doing things that are making you unique. You have the Moon. The Moon can represent fears, fantasies, illusions, things like that. I feel like you haven't known where you are going for a long time. And the other thing I will say here, Capricorn, is whenever I have the Fool and then the Hermit, that really tells me that you've been through a period of darkness, or you've just been through a period of time where you don't know like what you're trying to accomplish, or like what you're doing, or where you're going, or all those other things. So I feel for a lot of you that you've been trying to figure out like what direction to go in, or it's been like wandering in the darkness, where you feel like you're not sure if you're actually getting results or whatever. I kind of get that too. It's like, sometimes I think we set off to accomplish a goal and we get like little clues along the way, like, oh, you're going in the right direction. But it's almost like you've been working towards things, whatever you want, and you just haven't been getting the clues, or the results haven't been good enough to say like keep going in this direction. So that's what I mean by darkness. It's more like just the clues have been missing. And with the Five of Wands, you have the World. So again, you coming out on top. The World is your card, which really says that you are the one that is in control. You are the world, and the world is an accomplishment. You also have the Two of Wands here, where he has the whole world in his hands. So it's almost like you have the world in your hands. You are creating your own world, like I said with that Chariot. With the Chariot, you have the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups could be a knight in shining armor. There is a little bit of love here in this reading, so if you want it, definitely could be love coming in for you. Water, Virgo, air, you have Sagittarius, Aries, could be any sign basically coming in for you if you want love. But I also feel sometimes that the Knight of Cups, kind of represents a dream that you have, something you want to accomplish. He's normally kind of like looking into that cup. He is scrying. He's imagining his future, and he's, maybe wanting to work towards his future. So I feel for a lot of you, you could be taking control with the Chariot on some sort of dream. And by taking control, I mean you're like taking actions, or you're taking steps to accomplish a big goal, wish, or dream. With the moon, you have the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like when in doubt, just plant seeds, basically. The moon says maybe you don't know where you're going or what you're doing. I like the Six of Pentacles for when we don't know what we're doing in life, because it just says try a couple of things, like, pick a goal, pick something to aim at, try to accomplish something, take a couple of steps, see what works, see what doesn't, double down on the good stuff, double down on what works, get rid of the rest. Just that simple. And that is like your ticket to success right now, Capricorn, is doing that sort of thing. So, there you go. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this card that says expect a powerful change. You have this card that says you're very close to achieving your goal. There you go. So, definitely could be accomplishing a goal, something you've been working towards for a long period of time. I would say that that's probably the biggest difference between you and everyone else is I feel that there is something more, you have a vision, there is something more specific that you've been working towards or hoping to accomplish for a long time. I think that you've been wandering the darkness for a long time as well with the Hermit. The Hermit is a card of having gone through a dark night of the soul. The Hermit says that you've been kind of climbing a mountain in the darkness, doing some soul searching, looking for answers, but now you have found those answers. He's standing at the top of the mountain here on the Hermit card, and he really needs to share his inner light. That lantern there has the star inside of it, and I always say that he needs to blast that star out all over the place. That star could make him very successful. It could bring in a lot of abundance or money into his life. So, a lot of you need to shine your light. You have the Two of Wands here, which I think is also very important. The story of the Two of Wands is that he feels like he rushed to a finish line and he didn't enjoy the journey. And he's standing at the top of his castle and he thinks that there's nothing more for him to accomplish. But really, he has the whole world in his hands. So there's like a lot more for him to accomplish. So, again, you haven't even peaked yet, Capricorn. I feel like there's a lot more to your story. Let's put it that way. Maybe like there's a lot more that you can accomplish in life. There's a lot more you can do. And I really feel that's what the Two of Wands is saying. So how do you do it? You have to leave a comfort zone with the Two of Wands. It's pretty simple. He has his village right here. Right down there, and all he has to do is leave his castle, get out in the world, go on some sort of adventure right here. We actually see it right here, Six of Swords, and he needs to go discover something new. The Five of Wands, sometimes I call the Five of Wands Indiana Jones, because to me it's like a card of going on some sort of crazy adventure, and where maybe there are some risks involved or some competition, but if you go on the adventure you might discover something that really changes your life. You have the King of Swords here. I kind of feel, for whatever reason, I have a weird message popping into my head. It's like saying, don't think that you know, or something like that. I really, honestly don't know, kind of what that means, but kind of what's popping into my head is that, there might be opportunities that spring up for you over these next few months. And it's funny that I said spring, because I think, like, between now and the springtime, there are going to be opportunities. These opportunities could be in work or business, and I do feel they're financially related. I feel like the card is saying, don't just assume that you know how something is going to go. Like, maybe you get an opportunity and you're like, oh, I've been there, done that, but really you haven't. And I feel this is saying, look at all opportunities as new opportunities and be willing to explore the opportunities. Same thing with dating as well. It's like maybe you meet a person and you're like, oh, I kind of, maybe you kind of like them, but also at the same time, maybe you're not sure like where it's going. I feel this is saying, like, you don't have to like marry the person tomorrow. Go on a second date, go on a third date, see what happens, right? Because you never know. Like, I kind of feel that the good opportunities are going to be ones where maybe you think you know how it's going to go, but just being open to the adventure, just being open to have fun with something is going to be the thing that leads you to where you actually want to go. So did that make sense? I have no clue. There you go. With the Hermit, you have the Two of Wands again. So yeah, I feel like you need to explore new worlds as well. Like, don't be afraid to totally mix things up. It wouldn't surprise me, Capricorn, if you were one of those signs where you get, for example, over like the next 5 years or so, let's say you have a job in a certain industry. It wouldn't surprise me if you went and got another job in a completely different industry, but it's probably the same job, if that makes sense. Like, if you have a marketing job right now and you work for selling toothbrushes, it's like maybe you get a marketing job helping people raise gerbils or something like that, right? It's like same, your description is like the same, but it's a completely different industry. And I feel that for a lot of you where, you could be entering into a new world, and that's what I mean by that. It's like you're going from one thing that's familiar to something that's not, but I also in my head see that being very successful for you, Capricorn, like if you're applying your skills to something totally new. And that's obviously for those of you that work. With the Two of Wands, you have the Five of Swords. This is like separating away from things that everything that you've known, and that seems scary, but it's not. You have the Six of Swords here. Six of Swords, the woman and the child in that boat, they have nothing but the clothing on their back. They are completely moving on. They're leaving everything they knew from the past. They're leaving everything they owned, but they're, moving on for the hopes of a brighter future. So like I said, it's like you're going from one world to another, but really those swords in the boat there represent all the knowledge and wisdom. It represents like all the lessons that they've learned and everything. So even if you are going from toothbrushes to gerbils, it's like you're not starting over. You are starting from a place of knowledge and wisdom. And so really there isn't that much of a risk, if that makes sense. And I feel like that part of the reading right there, those like these cards right here are kind of like saying you might be thinking that an opportunity is more risky than it actually is. Like it might not be a risk at all for you to, or it might not be as much of a risk as you think. Or let's say you have a business and you're thinking about starting another one, but you're like, I can't leave this other business. But it's like actually the new one might grow much quicker because again, you're starting it from knowledge. You're starting it from a place of knowledge or wisdom. Same thing with love. It's like maybe you're like, you know what, I've been through all these challenges. It's like I don't want to date again. But it's like really maybe you've learned a lot, and so the next you'll be able to spot any issues with someone new. But also you could be like attracting your real person. So there is like a little bit of risk showing up here, but it's like not a big risk. It's more like the risk of you needing to just trust yourself. With the King of Swords, you have the Ace of Cups. So you could be attracting a person who is very wise, who has a lot of wisdom, who has a lot of knowledge and wisdom. And I do feel you could be attracting a new person here, for sure. Next, in the area of what's coming towards you, you have this Healing the Heart card and this Burst of Magic card. Some of you could be going through healing, but I also feel that it maybe seems like a magical time because you're just attracting, opportunities that you've been hoping for, or you're just attracting better opportunities in general. You have the Emperor, the Six of Swords, and the Temperance card. The Emperor is about taking control of your reality, so I do feel like you are taking control of your life right now. I do feel like some of you could have an Emperor coming in, like an Aries. So if you're looking for love, I really am leaning towards Aries here. It could be any sign, general reading. But, this person could be an Aries, or they could have a lot of Aries in their chart. I also do feel this is you, though. I feel that you kind of are, I get this feeling of like rebirth here. He is holding the symbol right here, which kind of looks like an Ankh, right? Right there in his staff. It's not, of course, I'm trying to show you something. It doesn't want to even consider focusing here for whatever reason, but let's see if that works. But that right there, it's almost like you are rebirthing an old idea. But you could be, you could be updating it in some way. It's like maybe 20 years ago you wanted to write a book, and maybe you never did it. But it's like now there's like self-publishing, and maybe you're like, oh, now I'll write the book because I can just publish it myself. It's like that type of thing I get here. I'm not saying that it's a book. I'm just giving you an example. So I feel for a lot of you, it's like something is becoming possible, which I literally said like 3 years ago now, where or longer. I remember talking about how Uranus was moving into Taurus. Uranus is in Taurus now, but it was at the time I was saying this in a reading, and I said that I think Uranus and Taurus, by the time it leaves, and even before, it's like there will be new possibilities. It's like 20 years ago, it was not possible to read for over 800,000 people in tarot, right? Basically, it pretty much was not possible unless you could somehow get on TV or something, right? But now it is. And, I kind of get that feeling here where it's like maybe 20 years ago, something you wanted to do with your life wasn't possible, but now it is, because maybe there's new technology that comes out. Maybe there's a new social media platform that comes out. So again, I would be looking for those opportunities, Capricorn, if I were you, and I basically am. You have the Six of Swords moving on to calmer shores. Like I said, I get this thing about entering a new world, but the new world is really an old world just upgraded, like I said. So for those of you that are looking for a better job, it looks to me like you're getting one, but I think you have to look outside the world that you're in right now. And I gave you a bunch of examples. We talked about gerbils and toothbrushes. Maybe there's a job where you could brush the teeth of gerbils. Maybe you could make dentures for gerbils. I don't know. I don't care. I would just look for something, right? And it might be like a combination of what you used to do, what you do now, because you have the Temperance card. I always, I think something people forget about Temperance is that sometimes Temperance can represent a combination, two things mixed together. So, sometimes Like if you're looking for a job, there might be a job that combines two skills that you have. There might be a person that combines like two of the best things that you like about people in love. So I always tell people with temperance, sometimes it's more about the combination, if that makes sense, not so much about transformation. We look at temperance as a card of transformation, but like I said, sometimes I feel that the temperance card is more talking about mixing two things together. And I kind of feel that for you here, where it's like saying there might be opportunities that come in and that are kind of like the best of both worlds, right? And maybe that's what this reading is saying. With the Emperor, yes, you have the Six of Swords. I also feel like you took your power back here. It's popping into my head randomly, where like if you left a person, I would say over the last 2 years or so, I feel like you have a person off balance here, Capricorn. It's just randomly popping into my head that if you like walked away from a person, I feel like this person still feels that you have control over them or that they have control over you. I also feel like they think that you are trying to control them, but I feel like you're over it and you're completely moved on. So that's popping into my head. I also feel that, there's the Emperor could say you're taking control of a situation. You're moving forward so you can take control of your life. With the Six of Swords, you have the Page of Pentacles. This is definitely a new opportunity that's coming in for you. I would be, again, I have no clue what I'm talking about. I'm just some guy on the internet. I tell people all the time, don't listen to me, right? is what I will say. But what I will say is I kind of feel that there is an opportunity coming in for you. You don't see it yet. Maybe it's not even here yet, and my camera won't even focus, right? But I feel this opportunity is going to take you to a new world, like we've been saying, and it could be a mixture of two things, like I said, but I would just be open to spotting those opportunities, and I would be open to any new work opportunities. Could also be a new personal love, because we go like this, Ace of Cups to the Page of Pentacles. With the Temperance card, you have the Ten of Swords. There is an ending to something here. Going this way, down here, world is completion. You have Five of Wands, conflict, Five of Swords, separation, Ten of Swords with Temperance. See, I would be careful of a past person who's trying to trying to fix things with Temperance, who's trying to, come back together or transform a situation. To me, it looks like something is dead, done, over with a past person. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this activation card. It says you're activating your soul's purpose and receiving gifts. It says awaken your soul and tap into your ancestral memories and inner wisdom. You have this card that says with great awareness, you will find the answers you're looking for. There's definitely something about awareness here. Again, the reason I'm kind of like harping on this whole mixture thing is because I think we have to train our brains, to see things that we want. I'm sure you've all heard the story where like when you buy a car, you see that car all over the place all of a sudden, right? And it's like the same thing. That is your reticular activating system. I believe that we have to activate our brain and literally see opportunities. So again, I would tell your brain to look for an opportunity that's a combination of two things that you do in work or business or whatever. I feel if you do that, you are going to find it and you will be extremely successful, or it will lead to more success. So I really see a lot of success here. And sorry, I have to check my camera real quick because I am waiting for something to show up. And okay, there we go. But anyway, sorry about that. What I would say here is like I feel like you have to train your brain to see something that's going to be really good for you. You have the Three of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. The Three of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, you do have the Ace of Cups, but Three of Pentacles is a card of teamwork. Three of Pentacles says teamwork makes the dream work. So I feel for a lot of you, you could be working together more with people, or you could just be in a co-creative place. The other thing is, I feel people are recognizing you for your work. Three of Pentacles is a card of quality work and being recognized for your work. So I feel like you could be getting recognition for the work that you do. You have the Page of Swords here. Page of Swords is a card of curiosity. I would definitely dig into, again, this whole entire reading is basically saying that there could be a random opportunity that you are going to want to be very curious about because it could lead to a lot of success. You have the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is a passionate new beginning. So I do feel like there could be some sort of new beginning coming in for you here with the Ace of Wands. And I feel like this new beginning could have to do with like work or business or something that you're creating. And so I feel like you're creating something new here with the Ace of Wands. And I would move towards anything new that excites you. It's just that simple. I also feel there could be a very passionate connection coming in for you, but it's like this year, I wouldn't really call this a love reading. So if you are looking for love, I feel like there could be something that could be coming in like more in the future. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Hermit. Yes, this is like a discovered skill is what I'm getting here. The Hermit, you've been through the dark night of the soul. You've been through something challenging. Five of Wands, same thing. Well, not exactly the same, but kind of. And I feel like whatever you have learned through the difficulties that you've been through in life, like your whole entire life, that could be the thing. That could be something that is going to make you more successful. Three of Pentacles. Sometimes I think that there's like some sort of saying. What is it? There's like a saying, like turn your pain into turn your pain into your purpose or something like that, right? And it's almost like some of you could be doing that here with your life. With the Page of Swords, you have the Three of Pentacles. Yes, you are discovering something here. And it has to do with work, and it's going to make you more successful. Love it. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Moon card. Yes, it's funny that you start and end here with the Moon. So it's like you're gaining clarity on your purpose or on the direction in your life that you need to move in. Yeah, very powerful stuff. It's pretty straightforward reading here, Capricorn. So there you go. You have this shark card. It says, take care or there will be loss of material wealth. I think this is true for everyone. I think everyone right now just needs to pay attention to their finances. If you do that, you'll be fine. You have this cobweb. It says, protected from negative forces beyond your control. So everybody, it is weird to me that everyone gets these cards of protection. Like there's no need to worry right now. You have this wheel. It says indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. Yeah, I would definitely channel your restless energy if you have it, or I would like pick one thing. Like sometimes I think we don't know what we need to do next. We kind of talked about this with the Moon in the beginning of the reading with the Hermit, and it's about, that kind of looks to me like you want to accomplish something. Here's why, right? Is that there are some mountains in the background of the Moon. And the mountains represent challenges, but they also represent accomplishments. So this reading is kind of like saying to me, like, you want to accomplish something, but I also feel that you get overwhelmed with not knowing what steps to take. And so whenever you're in that position, right, I would just take the tiniest, littlest step that you possibly can. And that could include like watching a YouTube video about whatever you want to do and learning something new. Sometimes education, just learning something is the best thing you can do. So I would do that. Maybe you just need to write about it, like just write, right? It doesn't matter what you do, but I would channel that energy with that card. You have the spiritual love card. I do feel like there is a spiritual connection coming in for you for sure. Maybe not right now, like this month even, or maybe not till like after the spring, but take it how it resonates. And finally, you have this success card. We see a ton of success here. Really good reading. I love where this is going. It's like I don't think it's been easy, but I like this. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.